G'day guys, my name's Will from Mowtech Industries. Some of you may know me from other companies like mowermerch.com.au and Rosebud Mowers. My wife and I, Nicole, we created Mower Merch and Rosebud Mowers with a dream of being able to create our own products and develop our own brand. Some of you may have been to our shop and seen a couple of our prototypes kicking around for the last couple of years. We have been working on our own range of mowers. This particular one in front of us, this is our latest prototype. We actually recently flew to the factory and signed off the last remaining amount of changes. From this model, there will be some slight cosmetic changes to the actual production model, which will be here very shortly. The stand-on mower concept is nothing new. We've taken this concept and we've implemented some design changes that we think suit the Australian conditions more so, and some changes that we feel that suit our operators here in Australia a little bit more. Keep in mind though, the stand-on concept is nothing new. So some of the changes we have made to the machine, we feel are definitely an improvement. So the first thing I'll talk about is the engine. Now, a lot of other stand-on brands are using Kawasaki or Briggs, even Kohler in some aspects. Now, as some of you may know, that we've created this mower for a use. We want to be able to keep the budget conscious in mind. So this particular mower will be retailing for $9,999, which no other stand-on mower in the country can even touch that price. And as such, obviously some aspects of the mower are going to have different components in them that you may not be familiar with. So for example, with the engine, we've chosen to go with a brand called Zhongshan. Zhongshan have been producing engines in China for years and years. They're part of the same company as Lonsin Engines, company like Stanley Black & Decker, MTD, Cox Industries, Predator Engines. They are all Zhongshan engines. So we've gone with a really reputable engine manufacturer. We've taken what we like about different engines in the commercial space and we've implemented it into our particular engine. So this was a custom order engine from Zhongshan. So we've gone with a high horsepower engine for all of our products. Some may say that it's overkill. We've gone with 26 horsepower on everything from a 32 to a 42-inch stander. We find that the power is unmatchable. Like, it is really good in this size mower. We've tested this thing for months in the longest, thickest, crappiest grass conditions, because we know that Australians, we're not just going to put this thing on premium turf. Mind you, it does cut excellent on premium turf, but we've also kept in mind that we like to use our mowers as slashers. We like to put them through hell. So teaming it up with high horsepower has really been fundamental in improving the mower. So 26 horsepower. We've also gone with a Donaldson or a dual air filtration system. And we feel this is critical in the Australian conditions. It gets super dusty here in the summer and springtime. So we've gone with a full commercial filtration system. We've also chosen to keep the air filter as down as low as possible because we do see a lot of the Kawasaki and Briggs and Stratton filtration setups quite high, and we see them getting damaged quite frequently. So we've chosen to keep that nice and low. We see that this type of engine filtration system can double the lifespan of an engine. It can really improve the lifespan. Let's just throw numbers out there. If you're getting 1,500 hours out of an engine, putting this kit on it, you're going to get 3,000 hours out of it. Now, the other one we've chosen to go with is an oil condenser or oil cooler. We have a lot of issues in summertime in Australia with keeping engine temperatures down, and that's related to air and oil. So all of our engines will be fitted with an oil cooler to keep that engine temperature down as low as we possibly can. Other than that, 26 horsepower V-twin Donaldson filtration with oil cooler. That's what the engine we've chosen to go with. The transmissions in this particular unit are commercial. They're a ZT 2800 with a charge pump setup. They are serviceable, so they will come with filters. We've had those transmissions in testing for years, from everything from a Liberty Z Skag right through our different products. They're a proven transmission. They're, for me, absolutely enough for this type of mower. You do not need to go bigger. The ground speed's really, really good. Going to a higher grade transmission, like let's say a 3100 or a 3400, is completely overkill for this size mower. So again, we've gone with a 2800 transmission with charge pumps, with filters, so fully serviceable. The cutting deck on the machine is fully fabricated, as you'd expect on a commercial machine. Now, the spindles are sealed bearings. We made that decision purely based on the fact that we could keep one, cost down, and two, in our testing, we had very little failures in high hour and harsh applications. For the cost of replacing bearings over the lifespan of the mower was far lower than going to something more serviceable. We have no issues running aluminium spindles with sealed bearings. We think that they're absolutely fine in this application, and they're more than enough. With the cost of parts with the machine, we're going to keep things really, really low. So for example, if there is a warranty issue, obviously, spindles replacements, or, if you need to replace a spindle, the cost is going to be far lower than, other brands that we deal with. Going to the front of the machine, you will also have non-pneumatic tires on this particular machine, so they will be solid filled. This one has pneumatic tires on it. Again, this will be our final prototype, and again, we've made those changes to the production model. So they'll have solids on the front, so you won't need to worry about punctures. We'll go through a couple of other things as well. Obviously, we'll have a more in-depth walk around of the machine. We're running really, really large flat idlers to keep that belt on track. We really don't want belt issues. We've learned that the more compact the machine, the more likely you are to have belt-related issues. So we've taken, again, that information over learning over multiple different brands, and we've tried to implement some changes here. We are running a B-section belt on the 32, 36, and 42, which for us has been incredibly reliable. The height adjuster setup, we've done things a little bit differently, which we really like. Instead of having a pin system that would designate your height, so for example, you would remove your pin, to then select a height, we've actually gone with a dual application or a dual feature height adjuster, and we think it's a really clever design. Again, there will be one more change to this particular height adjuster on the production model. You will have a transit lock for when you're transiting the mower around. Basically, we'll go into a little bit more depth about it when we do a walk around. You have a adjustment pin on the mower, just like you would on any other mower, and then you also have a button height adjuster. Now, that's not uncommon, a button height adjuster, but generally the button is just to release the cutting deck up and down. We've actually integrated the button height adjuster throughout the entire cutting range. So you can have your pin system as you normally would, but you can have that locking at your lowest height. So if you don't want to be going lower than that by accident, you can use that as a point that the deck can't go further. So if you say that your cutting height is no lower than 2 inches, leave your pin in at 2 inches, and then your deck will not go lower than that. But then incrementally, you can then increase the height of your cutting deck just by the press of a button without having to change that pin. So you can do that on the fly. Again, there will be some more cosmetic changes, which you guys will see the new photos and the renderings coming out shortly. This is our demo model, so anybody in our area, if you're looking at getting into a stand-on and you just can't justify the price, come down and see us, because again, we've been developing this mower for a few years. We're really happy with the quality of the product. I don't think that by having a mower under that 10 grand mark, we've sacrificed any of the quality. We're still running really high grade components, transmission and engine setup. Our deck is still really well built, spindles and alike. So we definitely haven't cut any corners. Just we're able to get that, that price point a lot lower than others. So if you are looking at a stand-on but you can't justify the price, and you're looking at an alternative machine, that in a cheaper range, a more domestic machine and a sit-down version, come and have a look at this, because if you want to get into that stand-on and you don't want to spend the money, then here we are. They're going to be fully backed up here in Australia with a full warranty, and we will service and support these mowers as obviously, as much as we do any other brand. Now, we are a Melbourne-based company. However, we have a model in place. We will ship this mower to your doorstep anywhere in the country, and we will service and support you remotely. If you do have warranty issues, then we will contact your local dealer or the dealer that you prefer to work with, and we'll talk to them. We'll try and form a relationship with them, and we will pay above and beyond warranty rates if there are warranty issues, and we will provide them parts with, you know, obviously dealer margins and things like that. So we're happy to work with any serviceable agents out there, and especially dealers that you already have a relationship formed with. If you have any questions, feel free to email or give us a call. Otherwise, again, I'm Will from Mowtech Industries. Have a great day.